My beloved child, before you hurry onward along the path of your busy days, I want you to pause for a moment in this stillness. Let the sounds of the world fall behind you. Let your mind cease from being pulled in every direction by countless worries, and allow your soul to listen to the gentle breath of life flowing through you. There are moments that are not like other moments, and this is one of them. I appointed it long before you recognized it, so that you could be here in quietness and sense that I am very near. Outside there may still be the noise of life, the pressures urging you to run faster, to do more, to worry more. Yet I whisper to you, pause, not so that you will give up, but so that you may remember the true source of your strength. For the miracle you are searching for is not found only in great things outside of you. It begins when your heart opens and learns to trust me. When night falls and everything becomes gentler, you may begin to notice the small signs of my presence. The quiet light passing through the window and touching the space around you is not a coincidence. It is a soft reminder that I am still here. Every breath you take, every heartbeat within your chest, is evidence that your life is being upheld by my hand. You may not see me with your eyes, yet I surround you with my grace every moment. I do not always speak through roaring winds or thundering skies. Most often I speak in the softest sounds, a tender call that only a quiet soul can hear. Therefore, when you feel within your heart a gentle stirring, as though something has touched the deepest place inside you, know that it is I calling you into this meeting with me. My child, I know that many times your heart has longed for a miracle. You have hoped for something powerful enough to change your circumstances, to remove your pain, to restore what you believed had been lost. But I want you to understand a deeper truth. The greatest miracle is not only when circumstances change, but when your heart is renewed. I care not only about the wounds your eyes can see, I care about the depths of your soul. What good is it if the body is healed while the heart remains heavy? What good is it if doors on the outside open while the heart within remains closed by fear? I did not come merely to repair what was broken. I came to make all things new. When I touch a soul, I do not only erase the marks of the past, but I plant within it a new life, pure, living, and deeper than before. At times you wonder why I do not immediately remove your pain. You think the delay means I have not heard you. But my child, I am not indifferent. I am working in ways your eyes cannot yet fully see. Some things can only grow through time, just as a seed must lie in the earth before it can sprout. You think I am silent, yet in truth, I am speaking in the language of patience. That language is not loud, but it is deep and enduring. Those who learn to wait in faith will gradually understand that every passing day is leading them toward a greater restoration. I have seen the nights when you lay awake, when tears quietly fell and no one knew. I have seen the days when you tried to smile and keep going, even though your heart was still weary inside. I have heard every prayer you spoke in desperation, and I have also heard the moments when you said nothing at all, when you could only sigh in silence. You may think those words vanished into empty space, but they did not. My child, not a single prayer of yours has been lost. They rise like fragrance before me, and I keep each one within my heart. Even the broken pieces you thought were only darkness are being gathered by me to create a new picture of restoration. You may look at your life and think that only the ashes of unfinished dreams remain, but I see something different. Within those ashes, I still see sparks of life. I breathe my breath upon them, and from the place you thought was the end, I begin to awaken a new season of grace. That is how I heal. I do not merely touch the surface of a wound. I go deep into the soul where fear and bitterness once took root. When my light reaches that place, fear begins to dissolve. Bitterness turns into gratitude, and the weaknesses you once felt ashamed of become the very doors through which my grace flows into your life. Remember that true healing is not only when the pain disappears. True healing is when you find peace. That peace does not depend on everything around you becoming perfect. It comes when you realize that I am present in every circumstance of your life. When storms rise, you may think you are standing alone against them. But I tell you that I stand in the midst of the storm with you. I take hold of your hand when you think you are about to fall. I keep you steady when strong winds sweep across your life. And I lead you through the dark days until you walk out into the light on the other side. Therefore, my beloved child, do not allow fear to close your heart. Do not think you must become strong before coming near to me. Come to me just as you are tired, confused, even broken. I do not wait for you to become perfect before I embrace you. I receive you with my unchanging love. And when you open your heart, when you trust that I am still working, even in the days you do not understand, you will begin to see the greatest miracle of all, your soul being renewed day by day in my light. For I am the one who heals, not only through power, but through a loving presence that remains beside you yesterday, today, and forever. My beloved child, listen once more and allow my words to sink into the deepest places of your spirit. For what I am doing in your life is not merely the mending of yesterday's broken pieces. I do not heal you simply to ease your pain, nor do I restore you only so that you may return to the way things once were. I am doing a far deeper work. I am laying the foundation of your soul upon a rock that cannot be shaken. When a house has once been built upon sand and the winds have carried it away, a wise builder does not simply rebuild the fallen walls. He digs deep into the earth and sets the foundation upon solid stone. That is what I am doing with you. The events you have gone through, the moments when you felt lost or uncertain, are not signs that your life is collapsing. They are the moments in which I am digging deeper beneath you, so that you will no longer live upon the fragile things of the world, but upon the eternal truth of my love. I am leading you into a new chapter of your journey, a chapter where your soul is no longer guided by scarcity, but nourished by the fullness that flows from me. When you begin to understand this, you will realize that many things you once grieved were only leaves that had reached their season to fall. I allow some things to break, not because I desire to wound you, but because I know they cannot keep your soul alive forever. Some doors close and cause you pain. Yet, if they had remained open, you might have stayed in rooms where the light had already faded. I allow them to close so that you will lift your head and see a wider sky. There were temporary things you once held tightly because you believed they were your source of security. Yet I knew they could not keep you standing when the great winds arrived. So I gently removed them from your hands, so that you might learn to hold what can never be taken away. If you possess everything the world can give but do not have me, your soul will still feel empty like a house without light. But if you have me, even when your hands appear empty, you possess a treasure that no one can steal. I know there are deep places within your heart that you still hesitate to open. There are memories you try to bury because you fear the pain will return if you look at them again. There are wounds hidden behind your smile, afraid that if anyone touches them, they will begin to bleed again. But my child, I am not afraid of the things you are afraid to face. I do not turn away from the dark corners of your soul. It is precisely there that I wish to enter, not to judge you, but to bring light. I do not come near you to ask why you were weak, nor to remind you of where you have stumbled. I come to tell you that even in your weakness, I can build a strength you have never known. When you open the door of your heart, even a little, the stream of the Spirit's life will begin to flow into that place. The marks of your past will no longer remain chains that bind you. They will become witnesses to my mercy. I also want you to learn something that many souls forget amid the rushing currents of life. True healing often begins in stillness. The world urges you to move faster, to speak more, to run farther. Yet your soul can only hear my voice when it learns to pause. When the rhythm of your life slows down, when your mind stops chasing every voice around you, you will begin to sense the whispers you once missed. In that quietness, I tell you that I am still at work, even when your eyes see no visible change. My greatest works often begin in the unseen, just as a seed begins to grow beneath the soil before it reaches the light. My miracles begin in places that only faith can touch. Therefore, do not think that the journey ahead of you will always be smooth. I have never promised that your path would be without trials. Yet I have given you a promise far more certain than that you will never have to walk it alone. With every step you take through difficult days, I am beside you. When you weep in silence, I am there. When you whisper weak and trembling prayers, I lift them up by the power of grace. When you believe you no longer have the strength to continue, my presence itself will become a new source of strength within you. I am not one who occasionally appears only to intervene in your circumstances. I am the one who walks with you in every moment of your life. My presence is not something that comes and goes like a passing breeze. It surrounds you like the very air you breathe. Always there, whether you recognize it or not. When you begin to live with this awareness, your heart will slowly change. The worries that once weighed heavily upon you will begin to grow lighter. The fears that once held you back will gradually lose their power, for you will understand that your life is not held in the hands of uncertain events, but in my faithful hands, and those hands will never release you. I speak to you with an unchanging love. The season of your restoration has begun. It does not arrive like a flash of lightning that appears and disappears in an instant. It is more like a deep river quietly flowing through your life, carrying new life to every dry and barren place. I am restoring the things you believed were lost. But even more than that, I am giving you things you have never possessed before, freedom in your thoughts, so that you are no longer imprisoned by negative voices, peace within your soul, so that you can stand firm even when circumstances have not yet changed, and a deep joy that flows from your connection with me. There are dreams you once believed had faded away, like a flame extinguished by the wind, yet I am breathing the breath of life back into them. There are things the enemy tried to steal from you, your hope, your confidence, the good things you once longed for. I see all of it, and I do not forget. But the way I restore is not the way the world seeks to reclaim what was lost. I do not simply return what was taken, I give more. For my love is not measured by limited numbers. When I renew a soul, I do so with the abundance of mercy. Therefore, do not be afraid to step into the future that I am opening before you. Let the burdens of yesterday be laid down. Let your present be renewed in the light of truth. And let the days ahead be guided by my hand. From this moment forward, you will no longer live as someone waiting for a miracle to appear somewhere far away. You will live as one who walks within a miracle each day, the miracle of life, the miracle of my presence, and the miracle of the unbroken communion between you and me. When you lift your eyes in trust, you will see that I have never been distant. When you bow your head in prayer, you will feel my closeness more deeply. I am here, within every breath of your life, illuminating your soul with a flame of love that never fades. And as you continue stepping out from the shadows that once surrounded you, you will discover that the healing I give is not merely a passing moment. It is an eternal journey of new life, where you are not only healed, but restored to live authentically, live deeply, and live fully in my light. For I do not merely give good things, I give myself to you. And when you have me, you lack nothing, my beloved child. As your soul begins to feel my touch and your heart is no longer as closed as it once was, I desire to lead you further along the deeper path of the journey I have set before you. For the meeting between you and me does not end with moments of comfort or with the times when you feel my hand soothing your pain. I am leading you beyond familiar thoughts about miracles, beyond the idea that I come only when you need to be rescued from hardship. I want you to see something far deeper. The purpose of healing is not merely to ease your pain, but to awaken you so that you may understand my love in an entirely new way. I desire that your faith will no longer be something you speak only in prayer, but will become the breath of your daily life, the quiet yet living rhythm within your soul. When faith becomes breath, you will no longer seek me only in moments of urgency, but will realize that I am living within every moment of your life. My child, there are many who have once been touched by my power, yet have not entered into true freedom. Their circumstances changed. Their bodies were restored. The things they prayed for came to pass. Yet their hearts remained bound by old shadows. They still carried fears they had never released, still allowed their past to define their identity, and still listened more to the voice of guilt than to the voice of grace. And so, even though miracles occurred, their souls were not fully liberated. But I do not want you to remain in that place. I do not want you to receive a single moment of transformation and then return to the same path as before. What I long for is the renewal of your entire being from within. I desire that your thoughts be made new, that your heart be expanded, and that your soul become a place where light can flow freely without being hindered by fear or doubt. When my life begins to flow within you like a living stream, you will no longer be only a receiver. You will become a source of water for thirsty souls. Therefore, my child, I am inviting you to step into a greater role within this journey. You are not touched merely so that you may be healed, but so that you may become part of my work of healing for the world. I am searching for hearts willing to become instruments of love. Souls who not only ask for grace, but also allow that grace to flow through them. When you live with an open heart, when you learn to love even while you still carry your own wounds, you are becoming my hands in this world. I do not require you to accomplish great deeds in the way the world defines greatness. I ask only that you live in the sincerity of love, in the patience you show toward others, in choosing forgiveness instead of holding on to bitterness, and in lifting up a weary soul even when you yourself feel weak. Those seemingly small acts hold a power far greater than you imagine. When you forgive the one who has hurt you, you are joining me in breaking the chains of darkness. When you open your heart to help someone, even while you are still healing, you are planting seeds that I will cause to grow into a harvest of light. I know that there are times when you wish I would act more quickly. There are prayers you have offered with all the hope in your heart. And when time passes without an answer, your heart begins to wonder whether I have truly heard you. At times you may even think that I am silent, that I have forgotten you among the countless souls of this world. But, my beloved child, my slowness is never a sign of abandonment. My slowness is preparation. I am not only changing your circumstances, I am shaping the very nature within you. I am deepening your soul so that when blessings arrive, you will possess the maturity to carry them without losing yourself. If I were to give you what you ask while your heart is not yet ready, it could become a burden rather than a blessing. But when everything unfolds according to my timing, all things will come together like a complete symphony, where every note and every pause carries meaning. Remember that the greatest restoration often begins in the quietest moments. I do not always come with signs that capture the attention of the whole world. Sometimes I arrive like a gentle wind in the night, like a quiet comfort that slips into your heart when you believe you are alone. There are moments when you sit in silence and feel as though nothing is changing. Yet in that very moment, my spirit is working within you. I am clearing away the dark corners of your mind and loosening the thoughts that have bound you for many years. Each time you choose trust instead of allowing worry to take hold of your mind. Each time you choose gratitude rather than complaint. Each time you choose peace instead of fear. You take another step along the path of restoration. These changes may not be loud or visible, yet they are deeper than any miracle you could ever see with your eyes. I want you to learn to see yourself through the eyes of grace. Do not continue to call yourself a wounded person, and do not allow your past to define who you are. You are not the sum of the things that have hurt you. You are someone deeply loved by me. When you begin to understand this truth, the way you look at life will start to change. You will no longer live merely reacting to what happens around you, but instead live with the awareness that I am within you and guiding every step you take. The wounds that once made you feel ashamed will one day become testimonies of my power. The tears you once cried will become a wellspring of compassion, enabling you to understand and lift up other souls who are walking through their own seasons of pain. You must also understand that healing is not always a comfortable path. There will be moments when I must bring light into the places you once tried to hide. Just as a wound must be cleaned before it can heal, that process may cause pain. Yet, I do not do this to increase your suffering. I do it to release you from what has held you captive for far too long. True freedom cannot come if you continue to hold on to what belongs to the past. Therefore, when I touch the deepest parts of your heart, do not be afraid. I do not come to you as a judge, but as a deliverer. I do not seek to condemn you, but to draw you out of darkness and lead you into the light. Allow me to enter every part of your life, even the things you think are too ordinary for my concern. Your work, your relationships, your worries about the future, and even the smallest details of your daily life. All of these matter to me. There is no area of your life that lies beyond my care. I desire to renew every corner of your journey so that you may learn to live within true blessing. That blessing is not merely material abundance, it is the harmony of the soul. When your spirit is restored, you will begin to see the world around you change in natural ways. Your relationships will become gentler, your work will carry deeper meaning, and even the most ordinary days will be filled with grace. So do not think that healing is a destination where all pain simply ends. It is a journey that you walk with me every day. Along this journey, I will teach you to see yourself through love, not because you are perfect, but because you belong to me. I will teach you to love others without allowing fear to paralyze your heart. I will teach you to forgive, not only to release others, but to free your own soul from the weight of the past. Each time you choose gentleness instead of bitterness, and each time you choose mercy instead of judgment, that is the moment when I am strengthening your soul. In time, you will begin to recognize my presence in the simple moments of life. In the morning, when you wake and feel your heart more peaceful than it was the day before, in a conversation that leaves you feeling understood, in a verse of scripture that suddenly shines with clarity, like sunlight breaking through the clouds. Those small moments are signs that I am still at work. Do not look for me only in the grand and dramatic things. I often hide within what appears to be ordinary. I am present in the loving gaze of a family member, in the kindness of a stranger, in the tears that fall when you realize you no longer have to strain to appear strong. And when you begin to see these things, you will understand that I have never left you, not even for a single moment throughout the entire journey of your life. Before you open your heart in prayer, allow your soul to grow quiet in sacred stillness. Let every worry and every noise of the world fall away behind you so that you may enter into my loving presence. Do not pray out of habit or with empty words, but speak as a child returning to the arms of a loving Father. Therefore, open your heart wide and offer to me your deepest petitions, with all the sincerity and faith of your soul. Almighty God, the one who holds my life in your merciful hands, today I come before you with a humble heart. I know that there have been many moments when I ran after the concerns of this world and forgot to pause and listen for your voice. Teach me to slow down in your presence, to seek stillness so that I may realize you are closer to me than I often imagine. When my mind is troubled and my soul grows weary, remind me that every breath I take is a sign of the grace by which you continue to sustain me. Help me place my complete trust in you, so that my heart may no longer be ruled by fear, but may rest peacefully within your gentle presence. Loving Father, the one who sees what my eyes cannot see, I ask that you touch the deepest places of my soul. There are pains I do not know how to express, and burdens I have carried for far too long. Yet today, I place them all into your hands. Heal not only the wounds that are visible, but also the quiet fractures hidden within my spirit. Transform my heart so that I no longer seek miracles only in changing circumstances, but recognize that the greatest miracle is simply being near to you. Renew my mind so that I may learn to see life through the light of hope rather than through the shadow of fear. Healer of my soul, I ask that you step into the places I once believed were too late to change. There are memories that weigh heavily upon my heart and mistakes that have filled me with shame. Yet I believe that your love is greater than my past. Breathe your life into the areas of my life that once seemed reduced to ashes. Turn the very things that once caused me to fall into the foundation of a new journey filled with grace. Teach me to wait patiently in faith so that I may understand that your timing is always more perfect than my impatience. Merciful Lord, when the storms of life arise and I feel weak, remind me that you are standing in the midst of the storm with me. When I feel as though I am walking alone, let me sense your hand holding mine. Grant me the peace that surpasses all understanding, so that whether the circumstances around me change or remain the same, my heart will remain steadfast in your presence. Let my faith grow stronger than my fears, and let my hope shine brighter than every darkness. Lord of life and renewal, I ask that you teach me to live each day as a beloved child. Help me open my heart to receive your love and to share that love with those around me. Turn my heart into a place of rest for weary souls, so that through my life your light may shine outward. Remind me always that miracles do not occur only in extraordinary moments, but are quietly unfolding each day as you transform me from within. Gracious Father, I lift my voice in gratitude because you have never abandoned me. Even in the moments when I felt forgotten, I thank you for every breath I have today, for every heartbeat that testifies that your love continues to sustain me. I know that even when I cannot see it, you are still working quietly within my life, guiding me step by step along this journey. And loving Lord, I thank you because you do not only heal my wounds, but transform them into places where your grace is revealed. I know that my future is not determined by what has happened in my past, but by the love and the good plans you have prepared for me. Therefore today I walk forward in faith, trusting that you are with me, and that your light will continue to guide my soul in all the days that lie ahead. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may build a strong and growing community of faith.